Okay, new business. Consideration of ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances, Kalona, Iowa by adding Chapter 94 Stormwater Drainage Utilities. Everybody's got a copy, I assume. And the only thing I saw is we don't spell out what it's going to be. We've all agreed on $3.
$3 has been the number that's been thrown out there. At $3 with 1,121 users, that roughly $40,356 a year.
Roughly.
Roughly.
What was the basis of this particular ordinance for this document?
That one's about 75% of what Wellman used. I went out to other communities and just asked what they were doing. And then Mr. Supple and I went through it and had just a couple alterations on it.
Go ahead.
Well, there's a special fund set up for this, and it gives a lot of purposes of it: constructing, operating, maintaining stormwater management facilities, including but not limited to detention and detention basins, stormwater sewers, storm sewer inlets, ditches and drains, curbs and gutters, and cleaning of streets. That's standard. We'll do about cleaning the streets. So that would be not street sweeping necessarily.
It could entail that. Yeah. I mean,
we have the option of doing that or not. That wouldn't be my intention, is that we pay for that. We've used that fund for street cleaning necessarily. I don't know whether it's because we have other funds that we
yep. One of the issues, and a side note to that, is if you get, we had the 5+ inches of rain and 4+ inches of rain up there, and we had to go up to the development down along there and help basically go in and remove a lot of material. That would be one mechanism that could be used for that. Obviously that was minimal, but it would fall into that terminology.
Anybody have any questions on this? I mean, we've already talked about things tonight that this type of fund will help people. And we have a lot of these issues and ditches, and it's not going to get better. It's going to continue to add up. So we need a motion on this.
Need a motion on this, and then roll call, and then we'll have the first reading.
I'll move that we consider the ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of Kalona, Iowa by adding Chapter 94 stormwater drainage utility.
Second.
Lori and Bentley?
And we'll do a roll call here. Bentley?
Yes.
Herington?
Yes.
Lafaurie?
Yes.
Miller-Zahradnek?
Yes.
Robe?
Yes. Now we need a motion for the first reading.
Yes.
I'll make a motion for the first reading.
Second it.
Bentley, Miller-Zahradnek. Another roll call?
Yep. Bentley?
Yes.
Herington?
Yes.
Lafaurie?
Yes.
Miller-Zahradnek?
Yes.
Robe?
Yes. Now we actually, Larry.
Do you plan to hold a hearing on this or put out more information to the public on this so you can possibly gather some input or feedback from the public?
Yeah. There'll be, I believe it takes 3 readings on this, so there'll be another two readings before it's enacted.
Okay.
Want to do the first and second tonight, and just do the third one at the next
I'd
one?
recommend that we do all 3 in order. I wouldn't,
Okay.
on this particular one, I wouldn't jump and try to do a second reading here tonight. And that would give 2 additional meetings for the public.
I guess some thoughts on this of adding another $3 to the monthly sewer bill doesn't seem like much, but it's another tax. It is a tax. And I guess the public need the input, and also need, is there a specific plan? Is there a priority list? Have some of the issues been listed out and detailed, and so that we know how we're going to prioritize and how we're going to act on these, rather than try to accumulate some funds and then possibly go from there. But I guess if you start a tax, I mean, selling it to the public, you should have some action plan in place, I guess is my feeling, of what you're going to address. Here we're taxing you, but we've just given some, I guess, generalities of how it can be used.
Well, we did talk about that, and I'm not sure if you were here in the meeting, that first, is it 3 years or 4 years?
For 2014.
Okay, so, yeah, 4 years are going towards helping fund some of the drainage way for the downtown.
Let's say for the first 4 years, it goes to the revitalization project, which, okay, so that doesn't have the rest of town.
No. But a lot of water does run down the hill.
Yeah, well, you've got you just got some drop boxes up on the hill that are still plugged up too, but yeah, it does come downhill. Yeah, I guess that's my thoughts of people would, I guess, I for one would like to know where it's going and how it's going to be utilized.
I think we talked about 2 things tonight.
Right, definitely.
Definitely. Some of them.
But I guess as far as the downtown revitalization, how many years have we been, the city, we've been paying tax to the city, and were funds put, has anything addressing stormwater drainage been in our budget on a regular basis?
I don't think specifically it has.
So we haven't had anything budgeted prior to now, but in a normal city budget, here we go, should have had a budget. So now we have to play a big catch-up.
Capital improvement plan could address it.
We should have done this, so now we got to play catch-up.
Exactly.
Right.
And
That's it.
I guess my feeling on the downtown revitalization, more grants were available. West Union had a CTGB grant and a RISE grant. They're putting a streetscape in, they're doing some green, some permeable paving, but they're also replacing sanitary water lines, potable water lines, sanitary sewer lines, and storm drain lines. So I would say they're replacing more infrastructure than we are, and they were able to receive some funds. So we're
some of those we struggle to qualify for just due to the average income level,
and just the timeliness of it as well. Yeah. So I guess that's your. As a governing body, that's your decision.
They're all good observations that we struggle with too.
Right.
I would say that.
You as a governing body, I guess that's ultimately your decision on those things.
I think you hit it in a nutshell, and that's part of the reason so much money is being spent in Kalona right now on the pool and the community center and the park. It's because so many of these things weren't kept up over time. Right. You're right, this storm sewer fee, if you want to call it that, or tax, should have been done 25 years ago. If you look at most communities in the United States, the utilities, the storm, the water, the sewers were all done back in the 50s and 60s, and nothing was ever thought about maintaining them except keeping them open so water flows. And now everybody's playing catch-up. I think we're fortunate we are where we are. We're a conservative community that didn't blow all the tax money on things that didn't need to be done. Now, this is a tax. We're going to play catch-up for a while, but in my opinion, and believe me, I'm against any new tax. This is something that is necessary for the entire community.
Oh, yeah.
We may end up doing some work up at the new subdivision if we have to slow water down to keep it out of the West Creek bed. For a longer period of time. We're gonna replace the storm sewer on the sea that's not in the project. Well, there's $16,000. So this money will be used properly.
Oh, yeah.
And unfortunately, it won't come in fast enough for what we're gonna have to do, I'm afraid. But I agree, I think we do need a plan. How we come up with that, I'm not sure, because we probably have a lot of areas in town we don't even know about. We hope the newer areas are in better shape than the older areas, but I'm sure there's newer, well, on my street, there's a problem. I mean, there's a hole in the street, so obviously there's a broken line under it. And, you know, so there are areas we can spend money, but I agree. I think people need to voice their opinion, and I hope, I've heard from a couple, some for, some against, but it is a tax.
Oh,
I
yeah.
agree with you.
That's-
Any other comments?
What?
What else?
I
do we
just
have? Is that-
have another comment.
Yes.
I hope that there will be some examination of not only recovering some of the needed funds from the average Kalona utility user, but also from some of the developers.
Future, talking about future, or
Yeah, however you can. I have no idea what the, you know, if there are clawback provisions or anything like that, but some of the problems being paid for but now by the, you know, Kelowna utility users, or after this goes into effect, have been caused by the way development has occurred, has been allowed to occur. I think it's ironic that much of that development, if not all, that's been discussed here tonight has been subsidized by TIF funds. So the developer not only got TIF funds, but has now given the city and its taxpayers the gift of problems to be solved now with the stormwater system. So I hope that developer contribution will be examined. Perhaps it's not possible, I don't know.
Okay. Anything else on that? That's it, so we'll have the second reading next council and
Final reading.
final reading the one after. Hopefully we'll get some comments.